welcome to Kings of the Crisis. You're not going to see this one quite live because unfortunately Twitch is having some problems right now. But you'll see it in the future. Well, for us right now, it's in the future.
So, yeah, what they'll see is the future.
That's true. Well, no, what they'll see is the past.
Correct, but
They'll see this in the future.
Yes, we're talking about the future.
We are talking about the future. It's Kings of the Crisis Day. See the defending champions knocked off Arc last week. Now defending their title against Church of Mao. Both these teams using a couple subs here today for this match. We can check out these team rosters and see how things are standing.
So we got, for Church of Mao, you got Mecha Malfred.
Mecha Malfred. That's Mal himself.
Yes.
His new name, he likes Mecha Malfred. Followed by Picasso, Swagatron, Maestro, and Azure Fire.
Yeah, for Team C, you know, as I said, they knocked off Ock last week. You got I'm Going Pro. We have GS subbing in. Cal can't make it on Wednesday nights. You have Curse Blue Freeze, Satura, and Kaitis.
Well, there you have it, guys. C versus Church of Mao. Let's just jump right into the very first game here. These sick beats in the background. It's up to Church of Mao. You know what's interesting? What I always think is deciding if a team wants to be the blue side or the red side, because a lot of people say, oh, it's unfair, blue side gets the first pick, they're stronger. But actually, C won the coin flip, and they chose to be the red side this time.
We've been seeing that a lot happen. I think we saw that the entire 5-match span between Brawl and Dignitas, that
Dignitas always chose
red. They
red.
always chose red whenever they could.
Well, Dignitas chose red and Brawl chose blue. So it was a clear difference
yes.
in opinion, which is cool. I like the fact that the pro teams are choosing different sides means that it's probably not a huge advantage either.
Yeah, they really don't feel that their one side has the advantage over the other. I mean, a lot of teams, I think they feel that being able to pick 2 and 3 back-to-back is way more valuable than having first pick.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of really good synergistic combos. And also then when they pick 2 and 3, you pick 4 and 5. I think picking second, it depends. They're both good for counter picking because the way the draft goes, you can always counter pick whichever side you're on.
I really think the champions that are banned is really what determines like how much more valuable having a second pick was.
It really does. In the last couple weeks, we've seen very consistently Gaslight, Joker, and Atomic being banned. Harley has crept up the ban chart a bunch, and then but really after Gaslight, Joker, Atomic Wonder Woman, a lot of it's target bans. So here we see Nightmare Superman banned by C, and that's not like, oh, we think Nightmare Superman's insanely strong. There's a lot of great controllers. Poison Ivy's great as well, but it's more they want to deny Picasso Nightmare Superman, I think, because Picasso's really known for his Nightmare Superman.
Yeah, you usually see, instead of Harley Quinn and Nightmare Superman that we saw for Game 1, you definitely do see targeted bans, and for Game 2 and Game 3, that's usually how those bans go as well. It really all turns out how the previous game went, but Gaslight, Joker, Atomic Wonder Woman, those have been 2 staple bans for the past couple of weeks now.
Very, very solid bans. Otherwise, often assassins are banned. Like, I've seen a lot of bans on Batman against a certain team. Like, they're like, oh, we don't want that team to get Batman. Or if you're playing against Dignitas, you probably want Gaslight Catwoman, because I've seen Idrikox play a ridiculous Gas Cat.
A lot of people seem to think that Batman Prime is just a little bit stronger version of Gaslight Catwoman. So depending on the team you're going against, that's really kind of who you target for the assassin ban.
It all depends on who they're the best with, which is why knowing your opponents is so important in Infinite Crisis. But let's get on to some of these picks here. The first pick was Arcane Green Lantern, an incredibly strong top lane champion, also going to be taken into jungle and into dual lane as well.
Yeah, we've seen Arcane Green Lantern really switch his role from the bot lane controller. I mean, as an enforcer, I mean, he did get moved to enforcer. We do see him much more common to be in the jungle now.
Yeah, he's definitely is really viable in jungle. I think that caught a lot of people off guard because first everyone's like, oh, you throw him top lane, he's such a lane bully with his Emerald Lantern, and you can pick it up, reduce the cooldown, and spam it like crazy. And I think the fact that, I think it was Dak from Brawl, put him in the jungle, was so strong with him using that ultimate out of the jungle because you ultimate in to save a teammate being ganked. And then all of a sudden it turns the tides and they have to run away. But between Construct Champion, which knocks him down for 1.25 seconds, and then the Shackles, which, you know, would slow them and then actually root them again, it's not easy to run from Arcane Green Lanterns. When he pops in out of nowhere, turns the tides in a fight, and all of a sudden your team has to run, it's not that easy against this guy.
And then especially with Arcane Green Lantern, nowadays you build power damage and then you max out cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
you're able to spam shackles almost like every 2-3 seconds.
It's
If with the right build. And not only that, doing the power damage, the output is just insane. And the control with Arcane Green Lantern, that's why you see him as a #1 first pick.
All right, well, let's talk about some of those other picks. We see C getting Joker and Poison Ivy. This is something we saw them do last week as well. Team C really loves these two champions in particular. They're both extremely strong defensive late game champions. So they're very good picks if you're like, well, you know, we're using a couple subs. What if things go wrong early? Well, it's okay, because as far as defending turrets and playing defense to try to catch back up in the game goes, Poison Ivy and Joker, I think, are the two best in the game. They both have, you know, really good kind of wave clear, CC. They're really good at kiting. They're really good at skirmishing. And then they're getting Wonder Woman. And they both actually have 2 global ults. Now with Wonder Woman, that's 3 global ults. That's a pretty scary teamfight comp.
Yeah, Wonder Woman Prime is very scary as well. I mean, I've never really had too much success going against her myself. I just know her kit is just so strong. With blocking bracers, and not only if you build it right, it does a lot of damage too over time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it just it can easily shut down a couple members of team fight. Mixing that with the baby bomb from Joker and then Poison Ivy's on top of that.
It's definitely really, really brutal. I wonder if we're going to see similar...
It looks like it's just going to be a global alt team composition for Team C here.
That's right. We're seeing Flash come in here, of course. A fairly popular assassin in North America, not quite as much in Europe. But again, he does have, like you said, another AoE ultimate Speedstorm. I just want to see them all get meteor drop, right? If you have 4 AoE ultimates, just get 4 meteor drops and just cover
4 meteor drops,
combo.
4 super strikes, and let's just see how this team fight's gonna go.
They all come in with cars, and you know it's not gonna go well for you. Over on the Church of Mal side of things, they have, I mean, Arcane Green Lantern is such a strong champion. They followed up with Atomic Joker, very popular marksman. Doesn't have quite the same escape that other marksmen do, but in the late game, he has greater range because his range scales into the late game, and that makes him an incredibly strong late game marksman. Then they got Superman, Zatanna, and Star Sapphire. What do you think about this team comp?
It's definitely an interesting team comp. I mean, Superman, we're obviously going to see him in the top lane, assuming Arcane Green Lantern is going to hit the jungle, maybe, or he could be...
He could be jungle.
He could be jungle.
They could do either or with those. What about Zatanna? She's a champion that's interesting because you don't see her that often, I feel, because Hardy, Poison Ivy, Nightmare Superman are such popular controllers right now. But with two of those 3, you know, top popular controllers being banned, and they say we still want to have a very controlling champion, what do you think Zatanna's key power against C's team comp is going to be? Is it going to be maybe be a rabbit to deny a Wonder Woman ultimate or something?
I mean, the way these global ultimates are, I think Be a Rabbit is going to come in hand. It's going to be very important in those team fights. Not only that, but I think her sustain is what is going to be very important to match that tightness on Poison Ivy Prime in the bottom lane.
Yeah, that's actually one of the big advantages Star Sapphire has over Poison Ivy. Is Star Sapphire, sorry, I don't know what I mean Zatanna, excuse me. One of the advantages Zatanna has over Poison Ivy in the lane is that she has more consistent poke, and she has a heal that she can kind of spam her heal. Poison Ivy doesn't have a heal spell. She has a shield, and then her passive can heal. But her passive is only triggered ever so often.
Every 3rd spell.
Yeah, or yeah, something like that. So it's something where she has to use 3 spells to get a heal. Zatanna, if she wants to heal, just has to use 1.
And that's what I think is going to come in handy for the bottom lane. It's really what's going to be the key factor. I mean, Atomic Joker has the range, and he builds up to have that endgame range. Match that with Zatanna's actual direct sustain rather than a passive sustain that's going to be on Poison Ivy Prime. I definitely think it's going to be a lot stronger in favor of Church of Mal.
Yeah, they're going to have a really, really strong bottom lane here. It's going to be very difficult to compete against that. But it can be scary. If you have a strong bottom lane, and then, you know, Flash comes out of the jungle and starts messing you up, it's one of those things where if Flash is slow, can slow you enough that Poison Ivy can hit a Root Strike, and then Gasback can swing and finish you off. And neither Zatanna nor Atomic Joker has a really great escape. Zatanna can speed or slow down, but that's only one target. So I do think they can be a little careful of ganks. They don't really... Zatanna, as far as disengage, doesn't have the disengage that Poison Ivy does. Poison Ivy has a shield, a knock-up, and a blind. Every single one of her skills is really good at defending against ganks.
For Church of Mal, they're going to need to use their ultimates to disengage.
That's actually really true, because Atomic Joker's, it's not really like a knockback or a CC, but it does so much damage that it makes the attackers run away. It's like, oh, let's not chase this guy, he's got his ultimate on.
And Atomic Joker having Last Laugh on top as his passive, I mean, that is another option that, you know, assuming Atomic Joker does go down in the team fight, he could still have the option of being able to pick up one kill in the end.
I should point out that Zatanna is using my favorite costume. She is going for that nice Amikami Zatanna. Like the hair. Very stylistic.
Amikami is your favorite costume?
Amikami Zatanna.
Amikami Zatanna.
Yeah. There's Amikami Gascat as well, which is great as well, but I think Zatanna is quite good.
We did not get to see my favorite costume, which would be the Emerald Patriot Arcane Green Lantern.
Yeah, Arcane Green Lantern here is just rocking the standard. But Greek Goddess of War, Wonder Woman going up against him. I feel like that lane, Arcane Green Lantern, should be able to bully it. As long as he can freeze the lane well, the harass on his E should add up and definitely kind of push Wonder Woman into an awkward position where it's going to be a little tricky for Blue Freeze to last it. But we'll have to see. If it gets too bad for Blue Freeze, you could always see Flash come in there and try to work some magic.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what we're going to see. Flash trying to babysit that top lane and help bully Arcane Green Lantern away.
Well, here, no one's making too aggressive moves. Actually, look at this GS. By the way, GS is jungle. Normally he plays a controller, but he can do everything, showing us some of his sick flash moves this game as Kaithis, the regular C controller, is playing his regular role. Look at this. These trades are going back and forth. As far as credits go, it's still very even. Blue Freeze is actually still at full life too. He's holding his own really, really well against Squagatron. I think it's opening the nil weapon, or nil cloak makes a lot of sense because that health regen really kind of mitigates the harass of Arcane Green Lantern, at least right now. Maybe at higher levels, you won't be able to quite keep up with that harass. Yeah,
it's definitely going to wait to see close towards the mid-game to see really any battling going on between these two champions. It's just going to be fair trading. I really don't think we're going to see too much of one being pushed over the other.
Well, no one's been... Oh, Blue Freeze taking a little bit of damage, a little bit of troll backing right there as he tries to be a little annoying to Swagatron. And where do you think the first big action is going to be? It's going to be over one of these surveillance towers that it's now available in the top and bottom lanes, or maybe even not until a Raider? Or
I mean, with these two champions, Flash and Superman, you really need to be level 6 to have that full rotation available to really be effective in ganking. How do you think it's more advantage for Flash to be a level 6 gank, or would be Superman with speeding bullet?
I think Superman's definitely got a stronger gank at level 6 than Flash. Flash's ultimate is more useful though if both of them enter the fight. I think it's so disruptive, that Flash ultimate, that if it's like a 3-on-3, then it's stronger. But just for a pick or a gank, I definitely think Superman has the advantage. He has a lot more abilities to manipulate where someone is on the map. With his Frostbite to slow them, his Heat Vision to push them around, and then, like you said, the ultimate to either enter the fray or chase someone down.
And with Team C knowing that the top destroyer was taken by Church of Mal, they know they have to put all their effort in going for this bottom destroyer.
Yeah, and an attempted steal there by Maestro, not going to work as that one does go to C. And actually, Maestro took a decent amount of damage. Important note, Maestro normally plays top lane, so they're kind of rotating a couple positions here to make sure everyone is in a comfortable spot here. And that's going to be, I think, a little bit tough for Church of Mal because Maestro and Picasso used to be on the same team, but not used to playing in the same lane, whereas Kaithis and Zatanna have played in the same lane for quite a long time for Team C.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's with Church of Mal mixing up roles here. We'll see how that worked out. Oh, Mecha Malford's getting caught by 3 members of Team C here.
Oh, and there's a Psychic Assault on him as well. The Bonds of Love tries to be a little bit disruptive, but Azure Fire cannot save his teammate. And that's first blood there for Blue Freeze. And that's actually, I think, if you're going to give first blood to someone, either Flash or Wonder Woman is the one to give it to, because if Wonder Woman can get ahead of Arcane Green Lantern, she can be the one pulling the lane and then starting to rove, and really denying his ability to rove, which is the strength of Arcane Green Lantern. Once he gets 6, he can jump into the mid lane quite easily, but maybe not if he's being pressured very aggressively. ask.
And prior to that first blood, I was just about to ask you, how did you think with a flash gank on this composition of Church of Mal would be better than a Superman gank on this composition of Team C? We talked about Team C has a lot of that disengage, but Church of Mal doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think they have quite as much disengage, and that's really great for Flash, because Flash doesn't have the strongest ganks, but if he can get fed, his damage scales really, really well. Well, not necessarily his damage scaling more than other assassins, but just the fact that he has so much more mobility than other assassins, so basically, the more fed a character is, if they're also mobile, then you can't even avoid him because you're everywhere on the map. So,
and not only that, Flash is already very difficult to avoid as well.
He is. Yeah, he's not something that's easy to avoid. So if he has the artifacts to make him damaging, then he can run you down and he can beat you in a straight-on fight. And that's not what you want to have happen. I definitely think that Church of Mal is gonna have to worry about Flash because he's one of those people that they can shut down. Between Zatanna and Superman, Star Sapphire, they have enough kind of CC abilities. They can shut Flash down pretty well, but they don't want to have to focus on Flash because there's, they have to really play around all the abilities of Poison Ivy and Joker, and not to mention the range damage of Gaslight Batman. So if they can keep Flash weak in the mid game,
a teleport going out here by Blue Freeze coming to top lane with the last one, Swagatron. I think that turnaround right there spelled death for Swagatron.
Oh, will the ultimate be needed? No. I was wondering if Blue Freeze is gonna pop his ultimate, because at any time they could have popped his ultimate to make that a much easier kill. But he was so confident that they had it anyway. It's like, well, why bother? Why not keep that ultimate for a rainy day? As it is one of the most powerful tools in Wonder Woman's arsenal.
Yeah, with another death going out on Church of Mal, that's the second kill going to Wonder Woman on Team C.
Yeah, and this is going to be very, very tough, especially considering if we look at the way Blue Freeze is building his artifacts. So hold that thought. There's a Flash ultimate. We're going to see a Blue Freeze ultimate was used as well, and that's a kill on Mecha Superman. 2 AoE ultimates dishing out so much damage. That's 3 for 0 for Team C.
And all going to Blue Freeze currently.
Yeah. And man, that's not good. I mean, the credits are very even between Blue Freeze and GS because, of course, in this game, a kill and assist, you split the credits. But I think it's going to be a problem because Blue Freeze, if you look at the way he's building with his modifier set, he's going for both Phantom Surge's Necklace and Ruby Life, which are both really strong mid-game items. They don't always scale quite as good as some of the Reflect items in a super late game, but Blue Freeze is going to be incredibly difficult to kill in the mid-game, and he's already fed, which is going to make a very, very strong mid-game for Team C.
Yeah, with those health collector items, the health collector items, you can definitely tell that Blue Freeze is trying to build more or less for that mid game, and maybe Team C is aiming to shut this game down in the mid phase rather than letting it extend out.
I mean, they've already got a 2,000 credit advantage already in the early game. I guess the big question is, when does Team C feel confident enough to go for a Raider? Because that's one of those objectives that will either put them another 1,000 credits ahead, or will force Church of Mal to contest them. And if they get stuck in a team fight that Church of Mal tries to contest C, you got so many great team fight champions, so many AoE ultimates. I think that's what Church of Mal, or what C wants for Church of Mal to have to come out and fight them in a 5-on-5. It looks like Wonder Woman Blue Freeze will have his ultimate up in about 10 seconds. That can spell the moment they try to kind of snowball their advantage even more. Right now, though, GS being very aggressive at counter jumping, spotted by Azure Fire. Is he going to try to? No, he's going to have to get out of there. Really good observance there by GS. A intelligent, risky play that he was making sure to be safe doing so, and so he was able to get out safe when he needed to. Now he's still lurking around, just farming where he can.
Yeah, you're starting to see Flash's wave clearing in the jungle is just so much faster than Superman's right now.
Yeah, I mean he's got that Marauder. It's basically just because he has more artifacts. I don't know if Flash inherently
that's due in part to the assist.
Yeah, it's because he's gotten so many kills, right? He's sat there with his Marauder knife, his Coda Blade's on the way. He has Marauder shield as well, so he doesn't have to go back. He takes very much reduced damage from those jungle camps.
And that definitely has given him the about 1,000 credit advantage over Mal.
And that's a huge deal. I mean, 1,000 credits this early on, that's 50% more artifacts on the Flash, which basically equates to the Marauder Shield and the Coda Blade. Looks like he might go in there.
Wow, so much damage going out on Picasso.
Oh man, and we mentioned the lack of a disengage.
The Bastion going out, one more auto attack, and the cannon drone picks up the kill on Maestro.
Oh, Kaithas almost goes down to the passive of Atomic Joker. Mech Alfred was thinking about getting the kill, decided his life was more important. Can he protect this bottom turret? That's a 2-for-0 trade. C up now 5-0, but they're not going to push in on this turret. Instead of saying, okay, Kaithas is low. You know, we already burned all of our, ultimates, our cooldowns. Let's just take this advantage, regroup, and now with a 3K advantage. Oh, actually, look at this, another gank, maybe coming in on Azure Fire.
Oh, GS is just taunting Azure Fire right now.
At least he didn't do a full dance. that would have been
the running man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you did a running man in the middle of the lane, you know
you're a little too confident. With a 5-0 lead, it's about 3,500 credit advantage right now going to Team C.
That's pretty brutal. A lot of it's on Flash as well.
And Wonder Woman.
And once he gets his Coda Blade to the next level, he'll hit that mod spot with +10 damage. And that means he's going to get +20 damage from Ox's slot. Oh, there's a Superman ultimate onto GS. I don't know if they can win this, though. Actually, a lot of damage on GS.
Oh, the knockback by Mecha Malfred. GS is very low, but he's going to be able to speed dash out of there. Blue Freeze popping blocking bracers. Malfred's really low right now. Oh, and here comes C. I'm going pro with the Mr. Punchy on Swagatron.
Oh.
Baby Bomb going out, trying to zone out the members of Church of Mal. Blue Freeze very low, but I think he's going to be able to get away here.
Yeah, he's got that passive heal on Wonder Woman. Swagatron, no
Are we going to see a lasso over the wall?
Oh, yeah, he could try to find something
But
to
he
hit.
is very low on will right now.
Yes, I think he's going to get away. That ended up being a 1-for-1 trade. So that's actually, I mean, if you're thinking about every other trade was just giving up bodies for free, that's the first thing that went okay for Church of Mal. Taking out GS, which is going to give them a good amount of credits, but they're still down by 3,000. But I think it's much better to be one kill versus 6 than 0 for 5.
Well, I mean, that wasn't a shutdown for GS. I don't think GS actually has a kill.
Yeah, that's true.
Currently, he just has the assists.
All the assists.
Yeah, so I mean, they didn't get the bonus credits for shutting someone down.
They definitely wanted to get Blue Freeze here. They almost had him too, quite close. It's just the combination of the Wonder Woman passive plus Blue Freeze itemization, both Ruby of Life and Phantom Turner's Necklace, with him having to double stacking mods, are fully stacked by now, which gives him a ton more both armor, HP, and HP regen than any normal Enforcer would have at this point in the game with a different itemization opening.
And you saw that with that passive of Wonder Woman's. The healing over time when the passive is triggered is just incredible right now with those 2 health stacker items.
And I mean, it works based off your max life, and with Ruby of Life, you're gonna have a lot of max life. Looks like things have slowed down. I'm actually surprised that C hasn't felt bold enough to go for a Raider yet, because I think that is something. I think if they force Church him out into a team fight. Oh, actually, look, here's moves from Kaithas, the ultimate slowing down Picasso. There's GS. And looks like just more trades, but no one's going to get an advantage there as Mech Alfred was there to kind of push C back.
I don't think there's anything more a little comical than Flash Champion slipping on Banana Peel.
Oh, wow. GS tries to get in to use his ultimate, gets taken out way before he can. A great use of Frost Breath, Be a Rabbit, and of course Meister's damage up with his ultimate to make a really nice exchange for Church of Mal.
And that's second kill going out to Church of Mal. I mean, that's where you see that the target they need to prioritize with Be a Rabbit is Flash.
Definitely. They need to shut him down right now because it's one of those things where sometimes in the later game fights, you have to use that B-Rabbit on Wonder Woman if she's positioned and she's about to use her ultimate. It's the only way to stop her from grabbing your ult team. And so I think they can keep Flash. Well, actually, Wonder Woman's so fed too, though. It's hard when there's multiple targets, so you all want to be a rabbit. Only one person can be a rabbit, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, you really got to be selective, and you got to read the situation of how the team fight's going. I mean, when Wonder Woman's setting up to... I mean, even if she already got blocking braces off, she lassoed in, got blocking braces off on half your team. That is who you need to shut down with Be a Rabbit.
Yeah, and then you could have problems with Flash, although it's good that they've kind of stopped Flash's acceleration. For a bit, it almost looked like GS was going to get out of control on Flash. They slowed him down with 2 kills. He hasn't gotten any kills himself for the last few minutes. And it's basically slowed down his progression towards getting that Electricity Crossbow. Look at this Mech Alpha. 101 Superman does definitely get the better end of Flash. A lot of damage going down on GS.
Yeah, and that's where you see Be a Rabbit could be very effective against Flash because the entire team of Church of Mal could blow him up instantly.
Yes, he's very, very, very squishy. You know, which is one thing to be said for Church of Mal. They're using a competition. They don't have an assassin. Their jungler is a bruiser. And that does give them some advantages because when Flash dives the back line, he has to pretty much pop his ultimate instantly or he'll die instantly. Whereas Superman can get in the back line, he can pop, he can push someone out of position with his heat vision, he can freeze other people and damage others, and he can take kind of a beating too. It really depends how you build him. But while going for 100 time pack, Mecha Alfred is definitely has a very assassin style set of mods for Superman. We'll have to see if after the first 3 artifacts he goes for some durability because right now he's actually building Superman to be very damaging.
And that might be what Church of Mal requires going up against such a strong assassin like Flash.
Yeah, I mean, out-damage him.
They're going to need to out-damage Speed Bullet going in. Kythus just erased right there by Mecha Malfred.
Oh, but GS's ultimate not only takes out Azure Fire, but also puts so much damage to Mecha Alfred. Heat Vision, great Heat Vision. The Bat Scream, though, takes out Atomic Joker. Mecha Alfred, I don't think he's getting out of this one.
Yeah, right now is a 3-for-1 in favor of Team C, but this might be turned into a 4-for-1 with a pick. Yes, yeah. GS is able to help secure the kill down on Mecha Malfred.
You know what? GS's ultimate there showcased the power of those AoE ultimates because Kythus started out with his Poison Ivy ultimate. And that one not only does damage, but also slows targets. And then you had GS come in there and pop his ultimate, and Church of Mal couldn't run away from it. Azure Fire just got caught in both of them. He went down really fast. Maestro took a ton of damage, and he was weak enough to go down by the Bat Scream after that. And Mecha Alfred as well. There's just too much damage on too many targets at once with those chained AoE ults.
And seeing GS with Flash being untargetable when he's casting Speedstorm, that just shows you that Church of Mal really needs to shut him down before he even gets a chance to cast that.
They do, and that's not an easy thing to do. I think one thing we'll probably see is once GS feels that his damage is high enough that he needs to worry about being shut down, he'll probably go for Batman's Utility Belt, which is something that a lot of Flash players do because they know if I jump in there, they CC me, then I could die because I can't use my ultimate when I'm CC'd. But you get that Batman's Utility Belt, and it'll purge all those negative effects for just long enough for you to pop that ultimate. Oh, a great Mr. Punchy connects with Mecha Alfred. The present misses. Can they run him down? I mean, they got Flash, so yeah.
Oh, and another Mr. Punchy.
Arcane Green Lantern ultimate. They almost out-damaged it. That was so insane. And these trades going back low. GS very low. He gets over the wall, though. What a move there by GS. Now coming back to damage Picasso. Oh, but Azure fires Missed Predator. One more hit. It does get GS. Look at how far away that Predator was attacking.
Yeah, it was pretty aggressive Predator, though. But Blue Freeze with a beautiful lasso trying to track down Azure Fire there.
Yeah, the Bat Scream almost finished Azure Fire off there. A great attempt by Soturret. You can see continued pressure. Just no C's going to say, okay. Oh, Mecha Alfred, what are you doing there? Punchy and Lasso both land. And a few basics from Gaspat, he goes down. That was definitely in the wrong place at the wrong time, getting caught by 4 there. And with Mecha Alfred down, I'm pretty sure Caesar's going to go for this Raider, and can Church of Mal contest this?
No, I don't think Church of Mal can contest this with only Arcane Green Lantern and Atomic Joker right now. I mean, Picasso just got back from being reviving, and it looks like it's going to be an easy Raider for Team C.
Oh, Church of Mal's coming in there, but it's... Actually, there's an ultimate from Maestro. So much damage from Atomic Joker, but the Flash ultimate buys some time. Now Church of Mal's trying to disengage. Maestro in a lot of trouble. There's a last
There's a beautiful blocking break. As you saw Blue Freeze trying to set that up, securing the kill down on Maestro and Picasso there.
And GS, oh, he gets the kill, but there goes the Superman ultimate to shut him down. He's going to go down, but it was still a 3-for-1 trade, and that might mean the turret to be secured. Mecha Alpha, though, he's still lurking.
Yeah, Team C tried to drop down that EMP to stop an additional turret shot going out on GS there, but it wasn't enough with Mecha Malfred right there to take that kill.
One thing that we can see here, if we're comparing kind of the 2 junglers and their itemization, what Mecha Alfred is doing is, this is the amplifier set that almost every jungle assassin picks. I mean, I do little different things myself, but the pro gamers who are really good at the game, this is a very, very standard one. You get plus 10 damage on the Marauder Knife, plus 10 on the Time Pack, plus 10 on the Coda Blade. The difference is if you're playing Flash. If you notice this, what Flash does, instead of the Time Pack, he gets Huntress's Crossbow. And that's because Time Pack really gives a lot of mobility. Once you level up to the max level, you're going to be able to kind of teleport around a bit. Flash already has so much mobility, he doesn't need it. And the Huntress's Crossbow gets in that Slayer, which scales off his F equals MA so well that it just is. Huntress's Crossbow is a perfect item for Flash because the Slayer keyword, 5% of your basic attack, 5% target health every basic attack. That means your F equals MA gets plus 20% of their life assist down instantly, which that's a good percent. I mean, that's not even counting actual damage.
Yeah, 20%. That's a fifth of their health already.
Yeah, and that's not even the damage of the ability or his other skills. It's and that's on any target, no matter how tanky they are. It just works off base health.
Yeah, and tie that in with his attack speed and his rest of his abilities. Throw down Speedstorm. You're looking at a dead team there.
Yeah, he's very, very strong. And looks like a gank attempt here, but Swagatron's a pretty tough target to take down. So.
Not only that, but they still have their tier 1 top lane turret. There's not much really Wonder Woman in.
Sotura in a rough spot, trying to get out of there. Actually, here's GS looking for Sotura. He gets rabbited though. There's the Bat Scream. The Bat Scream is dodged by Maestro. GS is ultimate. 2 psychic assaults being deployed. McAlfred goes down.
Oh, GS picks a double kill.
Wow. This Flash, and now trying to avoid Azure Fire. Azure Fire is saying he wants to mop up some kills. A lot of very hurt members from Team C. Can Azure Fire take them? No! I'm going pro, and GS come in. Double pronging her there.
That
and,
was a lovely timed Mr. Punchy there. GS was able to come back in.
Yeah. He comes back in to finish off that tail. And now look at this. The mid turret is in trouble as well. Actually looks like they'll be forced back, but, well, the good news is Swagatron's taking that top turret. The bad news is bottom turret is absolutely going to go down. This mid turret looks like, oh, instead of going for the mid turret, they're going for a levy. A big move here by Team C, taking a levy. And this can be huge for them. I mean, when you kill a Leviathan, not only is it a lot of experience and credits, but you also get an EMP deployable, a Leviathan core deployable, and Leviathan shield deployable, all extremely potent abilities.
Yeah, these 3 abilities are going to really help Team C take out the remaining turrets that are left for Church of Mal here. I mean, you got Maestro in the mid lane trying to defend here, while Azure Fire is still trying to come back from being killed.
And Maestro, I mean, both his stolen powers and his ultimate on cooldown here makes him a very vulnerable Atomic Joker. But Team C's not going to be super aggressive right now. They realize, okay, we got you know, a bunch of kills and a levy. We're sitting on a bunch of credits. Let's go back, spend those credits, get our health backs, and I mean, I don't know if Church of Mal can defend their kind of front line of turrets here. I think this could end up very, very bad for them. There's so much power here. Oh, there's a lasso on Maestro. Poison Ivy ultimate. Leviathan core. Flash is coming in there. Where's waiting for the right spot. His ultimate doesn't even need it. 2 already go down. Swagatron's not going to escape the Flash, I don't think.
Oh, the lasso gets him in the wall. And the thing is with Arcane Green Lantern, when he's crowd controlled like that, he's not going to be able to get Emerald Construct off through the wall.
Yeah, you can see he was trying to do that. He can teleport to his Emerald Contract, a great escape technique. But unfortunately, the lasso shut him down. He was unable to pull that one off. Now the tier 2 mid-turn. Oh, another lasso onto Picasso. Great play by Blue Freeze and damage from GS. And I'm going pro. Follows that up to secure the kill.
4th down for Team Church of Mal right now. Team C is completely in control.
Yeah, it's only Mecha Alfred. He doesn't really have good wave clear. I mean, he's Superman. He can try to poke Blue Freeze. And Blue Freeze takes a turret aggro, but with Wonder Woman, you should survive that. And yes, there goes the dampener.
That's 2 turrets and a dampener down. All in that run from after taking the levy.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I really actually like what Blue Freeze did is, at first it's like there was drones there. Why did he take a turret aggro when they could let us sit on drones? Because he did it by putting damage onto Mal, or Mecha Alfred. It used to be called Mal, excuse me. But it's really smart to do that as Wonder Woman, because as soon as you take a turret aggro, that frees up the rest of your team to say, hey, we have an angle. Oh, actually, hold that thought. Here's Superman onto GS. Oh, the ultimate dodges the Superman ultimate. Can GS get away? He does get away. Wow, what a great use of Flash's ultimate to counter Superman's ultimate. But yeah, when you're in
Predator going out by Azure Fire there, and he's almost able to pick up the kill. Oh, and he still gets the kill on GS.
He does, but he pays for it with his live top turret going down as well, and C continues to push in here. They want to, they're pushing it hard. They want to close this game out. Yeah, I don't think Spectron can, but it's actually Picasso's here now with the two of them and Maestro. They should be able to push C back at least for a bit here.
I mean, so much damage went out by I'm Going Pro and Satura there that Picasso already had to go back.
Oh, the lasso misses. Great juke by Picasso. Blue freeze. But he's going to try to zone to rest the Church of Mal out. Yeah, and they're going to be able to secure this turret. Yeah, if you guys are playing in Forces and you're under turret and you have a lot of squishes in your team under turret as well, even if you don't want to go for the kill, someone's going to take turret aggro just to then tell your squishes, hey, you guys, you're free to attack the champion if you want.
Yeah, because if one of your team members already has turret aggro, you're not going to capture it. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. It's definitely a good way to set up things. Look at this, Mao actually trying to do a little bit of a split push here at the bottom, but I don't know if he'll survive GS. How long do you think he'll survive? 1 second?
At least 3 until, I mean, after he catches them,
okay.
1.
Well, he hasn't even quite caught him yet. You know, that was a good heat vision. It bought him some time, but this is the Flash. He's slowly gaining ground there. Now he's on top of him. Yeah, it wasn't that long once he got on top of him.
It's close.
And he is getting that Batman's utility belt. He does have that purge available. That's going to definitely make him a little bit tougher to shut down, because even with Be a Rabbit, you're not really going to shut him down. That's for him. Also going for Soul Digger's Katana, which I think is neat, because
that lifesteal on top of him.
The lifesteal, and also a lot of the other things give like attack, speed, or crit. And Flash, almost all his damage is from his abilities. His Q, his W, and his ult. So he doesn't care about attack, speed, or crit. And if you just care about damage, the Soul Digger's Katana actually does, when it's stacked, it adds more bonus damage than any other attack item with the exception of Huntress's Crossbow. And he already has that one.
And he also has it modded as well.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So it's just very solid. If you're choosing, okay, you want lifesteal, attack, speed, or crit, well, if you're an ability-based champion, so you don't really use attack, speed, or crit, might as well go for that lifesteal, or build something for durability. But I mean, Batman's utility belt's probably good enough for durability. Well, looks like C is pushing from a lot of different angles here. They've got 2 on the bottom, and 3 sharking around top. I don't know if Azure Fire can hold this off for long. He's woefully outnumbered here. Now, as the rest of the team responds to this, that's when this push across the top could be more dangerous. We have Satura kind of maintaining pressure in the middle as well. Satura's a good champion to do that with, because he's got the speed deployable and an escape, so if they collapse on them, he can probably get away. Plus, if anyone is going to push the mid into the power core turrets, it's good to have a marksman do it, because marksman can get a lot of damage off on those turrets.
Yeah, and especially with Gaslight Batman having that sonic battering, it just chains from drone to drone, and it's able to do a lot more damage. And just the wave clear from a Gaslight Batman in this stage of the game is just superior to what I'm Going Pro can defend against.
Oh, there's the EMP going in for this top turret. No real defensive available by Church of Mal. Blue freeze. Great ultimate. Nothing much to follow it up, though. They focus on the damper instead. Here's a Poison Ivy ultimate for a slow, followed by GS's ultimate. Only needs Swagatron, though, but it's still enough to try to take him out. No, he actually survives it. Meanwhile, here's an ultimate from Mecha Alfred. Can't quite finish off I'm Going Pro, and you know, that was a really good engagement by Church of Mal, I felt. I think C missed a lot of their AoE ults there, but they're just so far ahead, they were still able to disengage successfully off the back of some well-played skill usage.
Yeah, we saw GS's Speedstorm only capture Swagatron there for a little bit, and he was still able to get off Deny the Black to, I think it was Maestro, who was right next to him.
Yeah.
He just used it just for the bonus shield at that point.
Yeah, I was surprised they weren't able to get a kill there, and I think it's because all of their AoE abilities hit a single target, like you said, because both Poison Ivy did the same thing. Wonder Woman only hit 2, and he kind of blew it a little bit early. And only did only hit 1 or 2 targets, but they hit the tankiest targets on Church of Mal's team. I think that was an opportunity where C probably could have ended the game there. If they had that fight really well, with as far ahead as they are, they probably could have gotten a 3 or 4 for 0 and ended the game. But with that being said, they still got a dampener.
And with that being said, I think they're going to go back for another Leviathan now.
Yeah, and with all those deployables, I see them just going straight to the bottom lane and plowing through here. Church of Mal, if they can erase GS before the battle starts and then kind of fight backwards under turrets, that's your only chance. But let's look at this. So if they're going to erase GS, it's going to have to be Superman and Atomic Joker dishing out the damage. And they're just so far behind in optimization with Batman's utility belt. GS can just pop that to block Be a Rabbit, and then
Ready for into the mask?
look at that damage as Fire loses like 3/4 of his life.
Oh, Swagatron gets the shackles down on GS there.
Yeah, that's the Bat Scream trying to Azure Fire. Maybe clear the wave a bit as well to soften things up. They're gonna take down the last tier 2 turret. Now the middle damper will respond in 45 seconds, but I think CS plans to try to take out this bomb dampener first, as they are pushing in here. Everyone has their ultimates up. Where are they going to be deployed? Blue Freeze. Oh, gets laser back. There's GS's ultimate. There's Joker's ultimate. All the damage again, mostly on Swagatron. Church of Mal having a great engagement, but I mean, C is just so strong pushing into your Sotura. Sotura is just a monster right now. As he's been able to 2-0 and 12 as a marksman. Has a lot of itemization to back him up. Ooh. GS wasn't quite able to get close enough to dish out his damage. Blue Freeze back in action after teleport. Still with his ultimate available as he was forced out of that last fight without using it. Oh, Sotura! Damage is real here from Church of Mal, actually. They're kind of putting up a reasonable fight.
Yeah, for 3 dampeners being down right now, they're putting up a decent fight against Team C.
Oh, Mal though. Mal's gonna go down. GS comes in here. Poison Ivy's ultimate slowing again.
There's the beautiful blocking bracers, getting all the remaining members of Church of Mal, and that is a full team annihilation.
Yeah, with the levy drop as well, that was just a massacre. Yeah, they're just deciding which turret to go for first or wait for drones. Either way, an incredibly dominant game by C.
Yeah, it was a really strong game by Team C right there. I mean, their composition was kind of just built around having those really strong team fights, and just seeing GS going from, I think he was 0-0 and 5 with 5 assists there at the start of the game. 4 kills going out to Blue Freeze. Blue Freeze on Wonder Woman, 7-0 and 10.
Look at the symmetry in I'm Going Pro's KDA. 10-0, 10-0, 10. That's a nice little number.
That must be on purpose.
Yeah, I think he clearly won. If it was like 9-0, 10, like
they would have said, hold on guys, we can't end yet until I get my 10th kill.
And if he got like an assist instead, it would ruin it forever.
It would ruin it. They might as well not even count
kills.
the game.
Yeah, just surrender, right? Yeah, that was pretty. The only one who really consistently died there was GS, and of course that's because that's what Church of Mal was focusing GS very aggressively there, and it worked. They killed GS a decent number of times, but every time they kill him, they'd lose several of their own in return. So
yeah, I mean, they were pretty much exchanging a kill on GS for 3 or 4 of their own team members.
Not a good trade.
That's not.
No, it's like if you give someone $1 and then they give you 4. It's.
Or if you give someone $1 and they give you like 2 quarters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good for you.
It's not.
No.
You think you get more, but you don't.
Not quite. Not quite. Anyways, guys, we are gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be right back for game number 2. Welcome back, guys. Kings of the Crisis about to launch into Game 2, but first, I'll give you guys quick updates on some changes in some of the Kings of the Crisis and 1v1 tournaments going forward.
We're doing EU.
We are. Kings of the Crisis coming to Europe starting November.
November 5th.
November 5th is the first time it'll be in EU, and then it'll switch off, so November 5th in EU, November 12th in NA. Switching regions every week.
So we'll have 2 matches for NA each month and 2 for EU.
Absolutely, and also because each region is only getting it every other week as opposed to every week, the prize pool is going to be increased from $200 per win to $500 per win.
Yeah, $500 US.
That's a lot of money. $500 US, around 400 euros. Additionally, Genfo's 1v1 tournaments that run every Monday, they're going to Europe as well, and additionally, they're also getting a prize pool 100 at the end of the month. The Master Duelist NA or Master Duelist EU will receive $100 in US dollars, or around 80 euros in prize pool as well. Of course, that's a 1v1 tournament, so it all goes to just a single person.
So just to give you guys the update, we are live with this game.
Oh, we're live. Awesome. Awesome. Those of you guys who missed Game 1, I guess we should catch you up on. C1, a very decisive Game 1 victory. The video of that will be up later. But Game 2 going into the C up 1-0 in a best-of-3 for $200. Both teams look like they are set, so I'm just going to launch it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. So do you think we're going to see the same 2 Gaslight Joker, Atomic Wonder Woman bands? I mean, we've seen those
I think we're definitely going to
time.
see those. I'm not sure if we're going to see the Hardy Night Suit bands might change. I'm trying to think of what type of bands they'll be, because it's also fundamentally different when you have first pick or second pick, right? A lot of times your drafting strategy is very different. C might say, okay, with the first pick but not picks 2 and 3, we may not get the Joker Poison Ivy combo, which I think was very, very central to their team fight victories. And
I think the Wonder Woman on Blue Freeze on Wonder Woman was very, very important to their composition last game and their strong win.
Oh, their first ban is Harley Quinn, so they're still want to deny Harley Quinn. But actually, no. The last time it was Church of Mal that banned Harley Quinn. This time it is C.
Actually, I mean, last time we saw Gaslight Joker as that first ban, so maybe they might be trying to set Church of Mal up to really kind of pick their ban for them, allow them to get the champion they want.
I definitely think so. I think most likely Church of Mal's second ban will be Gaslight Joker, and I think C suspects that as well. They're banning Joker Prime, and I kind of like that because Joker Prime is such a strong champion, but does he warrant their first pick? I don't know. I think maybe they say, okay, we'll go for Wonder Woman, Arcane Green Lantern, you know, one of those type of champions. And also this way, if they can let slide both Poison Ivy and Nightmare Superman, whichever one Church of Mal picks, they can still get the other one. They can have a very strong control.
Ooh, a flash ban.
Wow, that's leaving Gaslight Joker.
That's leaving Gaslight Joker, Nightmare Superman, and they have Poison Ivy Prime that was available last game as well.
Additionally, Arcane Green Lantern, a very popular early pick.
I think we might see Gaslight Joker picked. Either, I was going to say he's either going to be first picked or it's going to be second or third for team.
I think the thing is I really think this has thrown C off, because I think C anticipated Gaslight Joker being banned. And I think they were like, we got to pick Gaslight Joker, but then they're putting Blue Freeze in the top lane, and I don't know how much Blue Freeze has played Gaslight Joker. He looked very comfortable with Wonder Woman. And Mecha Alfred, they're going to go for Arcane Green Lantern, very, very strong pick as well.
So if they take Arcane Green Lantern, they could also go for Wonder Woman. I mean, they could try to take away all of Team C's composition from last game.
They could. I don't know if Wonder Woman's as central to Team C, though, given that they already have Gaslight Joker. And so do you really want 2 kind of super... Well, I mean, I guess the more enforces, the better, right? But instead they go for Poison Ivy. They said, we really want to get rid of Poison Ivy. Was very scary that last game. That surprises me a bit, because I know Picasso is really good with Nightmare Superman. I was almost expecting a Nightmare Superman pick there.
Well, now I'm almost expecting a Nightmare Superman pick going out by Team C here.
I would definitely expect that, but I don't think they have to pick Nightmare Superman quite yet, because I think they can let that controller pick slide down if they want to prioritize, let's say, Atomic Joker. I think that's a really good pick because he's such a strong marksman. I mean, why not go ahead and grab him?
Yeah, and Team C didn't have Atomic Joker last game. They were on Gaslight Batman for Zatanna.
Yes. Typically, Atomic Joker is the first marksman picked. And So this time they're like, all right, we'll pick our marksman first, because you know we're not gonna get the crazy. It's already clear to them we're not gonna get crazy wombo combo ultimate because Flash is banned, Joker is banned, Poison Ivy is picked for their team. Yeah, they could get Wonder Woman, but they wouldn't have a full team built around that.
And with Joker Prime being banned, I think that's going to bring in a new blaster. We're either going to see Sinestro or Green Lantern, I think, going up against Star Sapphire.
Star Sapphire is definitely a very popular pick. I could see Sinestro. I could also see someone maybe not even picking a blaster mid. Potentially, I could see you playing a controller mid. I mean, I think Nightmare Superman can actually run mid pretty well. His damage output is almost as a blaster if you take account of his. The cooldown on the Q is so short that it's only cost 20 will too. You just chuck it out like a maniac, right?
No, exactly. And then with that, we might see Church of Mal picking up Star Sapphire. I mean, maybe even Stargirl.
Yeah. I actually was playing Stargirl a bit the other day. I'm still not convinced on how great she is.
I do think she has a lot of damage in her kit, but
She
I just
does.
don't think she really has a home right now for a lane.
It's hard because she's definitely very easy to gank. As far as her laning goes, I think for me the shooting stars seem quite strong, but I think at the level of play these guys are at, they can dodge them very easily.
Yeah. And not only that, but you can use Fog of War and the stealth pads to really stop shooting stars from continuing.
Yeah. You can do a lot to work around it, and I think similarly, Cosmic Blast can be an amazing harass tool, but you also can work around it too because there's like an animation time, and you can kind of see it coming, you can see where it's gonna hit, and if you're really on your toes, you can avoid it.
That's how it is with a lot of skill shots. You can
yeah.
really see that animation timing up to really execute that skill.
And if you have a champion that she has a ton of potential damage, but a lot of it's skill shots, at least until you get your gravity well leveled up and you can start comboing things, that makes her not so much of a lane bully. Which means she's not lane bully, and then it's like, what else do you pick her? Well, she has really good damage, particularly late game. But if you're thinking about that, I think Joker is so much stronger because he has so much disengage, CC. I think he just kind of brings more to the table, which of course is why he was banned. But we'll have to see. Star Sapphire locked down along with Green Arrow for Church of Mal, so they've got quite a strong blaster in Star Sapphire. And I guess the question is, how will C respond? Who is C gonna put in that mid lane? Most likely against Star Sapphire from a Surefire. Are they gonna pick another marksman? Are they gonna? Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be another marksman, which I think is totally fine going up against.
What do you think is the better choice for putting in the mid lane against the Star Sapphire? You got Atomic Joker, and then you also have Gaslight Batman.
I would put Gaslight Batman. I feel like having the escape is really valuable. If you're a marksman against a blaster, you want to bully them, which means you want to be pushed forward, which means you're going to be, you could be vulnerable to ganks. Particularly, we'll have to see what jungler.
Do you think we might see Batman?
I think we could definitely see Batman. I think we could see Superman again.
Batman or Superman are two really good picks. I mean, Nightmare Robin's still on the board.
Yeah, I forgot
Shazam.
about Nightmare Robin. I think I like Batman though. He's solid. Yeah. And I think against Batman, you definitely pick Gaslight Batman. I think if you put Atomic Joker, you would have a very hard time against Batman ganks. I also think Atomic Joker, he doesn't bully a lane as much as Gaslight Batman because it's easier to, his poke is primarily his Q. And his E you can kind of dodge somewhat. It's not a guaranteed hit, and it doesn't do insane damage either unless you can follow the basics. And his Q, what does a lot of damage to Hot Potato, that's again something that early on lane, oh, it looks like we had a little bit of someone disconnected or something. So we'll jump back in the game in a second. Let me figure things out. I think we should. It looks like someone had a little bit of a bug, but we can jump. We can just jump right back in there. We'll do blind picks so they can skip the draft phase.
Yeah, it'd be a lot, be a lot faster rather than have to go through the whole draft again.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about these new Kings of the Crisis changes.
Yes. So I think the one cool thing about it is the fact that it's not every week, so it's less reliable. So it's more weight on a team. If they lose, they don't get their shot again for a while.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's only 2 teams. So when there's a lot of teams signed up, of course you're going to see things. Oh, the team might have to wait a month, 2 months to play again, which means that it's really important to win every single time. There's more money. The winner stays on to play again next week, and there's a lot more riding on every single game. And it's on both regions, so we can see some great European teams.
I mean, I think as soon as you guys announced this, we saw at least 4 EU teams sign up right away.
I think it's up to like 6 or 7 now. There's,
I haven't
Europeans have
checked
been
it.
hungry.
Yeah.
They've been hungering for this.
I've seen this
Yeah.
Twitch chat. They've been wanting the EU
Yeah.
hype for a while now with Kings of the Crisis.
Yes, they have been. They want to prove themselves. And the European teams are amazing. I mean, if you guys missed that Dignitas vs. Brawl match, it'll be up on YouTube fairly soon. And it was back and forth. The European teams
Yeah.
are crazy.
Like game 1 was one team, and it was the complete opposite way in the game 2. Like,
Yeah.
and it was just so good seeing the EU side and how they prioritize their picks.
It's very different.
It's completely different than what NA does, and it's just a great to get exposure on a completely different play style for the same game.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where it's so different, and they're both so effective, right?
Yes.
Like both regions have some things that work out really well for them. I particularly loved the Atrocitus meter drop and the Wonder Woman pairing, because that ultimate and the meter drop just is so strong together.
So strong.
Yeah.
Too strong.
I'm surprised more NA teams haven't started doing that after seeing that, but maybe they will. Maybe we'll see it.
And
towards
I
the
mean, this might be a good way to get a little bit more exposure for the NA team, seeing how EU
Yeah.
plays. I mean, I think that might have been the first time, other than our big, Gopher Cup finals
Yes.
and our previous PAX experience. A lot of NA teams really don't get that much exposure with how these EU teams play.
No, they don't, and it's really exciting to see that. And starting November 5th, we'll see it every Wednesday on Kings of the Crisis. In addition, of course,
Every other Wednesday.
Every other way, yeah. Starting November 5th, will be the first Wednesday from there on every other Wednesday. We'll see those European teams play, of course. They'll be playing in European time zones, so it'll start at 1 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central European time for that one. Of course, we reloaded a game. We didn't do the draft mode because we already had done that.
Yes.
So everyone just picked the exact same Champions Day draft. And I'm a huge fan of double marksman play. And I think this is interesting, though, because double marksman, but they don't really have a healer. Nightmare Superman has some really good kind of shields and peel for his team, so he can be good to protect the marksman in late game. I imagine, though, Batman could be a problem.
But I do think both of these controllers have enough peel that it's really going to help their teams and keeping their marksmen's alive.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like Church of Mal has more peel. Because Star Sapphire has solid peel bonds I love, Arcane Green Lantern, and Poison Ivy. Whereas I feel C, I mean, Gaslight Joker is he's typically better at diving enemies back line than protecting his own, although he can do both.
But the thing is, Team C looks very squishy going up against a Batman.
Yeah, I'm a little worried for him. I think the early game is going to be very important because Team C does not have a ton of peel, and they're going against,
a team that has a lot of peel.
Yeah, but it is weird because Church of Mal's peel, I don't know how useful it is because most of C's damage output is going to be from the 2 marksmen, right? And you don't really need peel against marksmen, you need to kill them. And Batman, he could be lonely, right? Because if he dies on a marksman, and then both the marksmen just turn on him and just shoot him, it's a 2v1, right? Maybe Arcane Green Lantern can ultimate Batman to help keep him alive and dive in there, but I don't see Star Sapphire, Green Arrow, or Poison Ivy really being able to get to the back line against the Gaslight Joker. So it's one of those situations where, C, their marksman can be vulnerable because you don't have much peel to protect him, but there's not really much. I forgot to switch his team name. Sorry, guys. So it actually is C is blue and Church of Mal is red there. But I feel like C, if they can just focus Batman, then the marksmen are going to run wild.
I mean, we talked a lot about peel, but would you say that maybe Atomic Joker might have the most peel?
He's got a lot of peels. He's got a lot of peels with those bananas. If he can land those quite well, we'll see how these things play out.
So we got a nice duel in the top lane here. You got Gaslight Joker going against Arcane Green Lantern. I mean, we saw last time Arcane Green Lantern going against Wonder Woman. No Wonder Woman this time around. What do you think is Gaslight Joker's benefit to this trait?
I mean, Gaslight Joker is definitely more of a lane bully than Wonder Woman. It's the fact that his passive can keep him healed up. His Q is great heal. He can throw the ham to lure his opponent into him, where he can get more basic attacks off, more Fetid Cleavers off. He's just very difficult to land against. You can already see Arcane Green Lantern taking so much damage from the harass of Gaslight Joker using the auto attack reset on that Q. He's one of those champions that actually does a lot of single target damage and has really good sustain.
And he's also not will hungry.
No.
Like Arcane Green Lantern and Wonder Woman Prime both can be.
Yeah, he can, all of his abilities either give him life or use life as a resource, so he doesn't have that secondary resource. And as long as you can keep your life total solid with him, which, you know, of course, the region on Null Cloak will help out a bit. It's gonna be tricky. Now, I think that a lot of the story's gonna also be here in the mid lane. We kind of missed it. I'm going pro did his normal thing where he just bullies the crap out of whoever he's going against. But Azure Fire, if you take a look at credits, how well is Azure Fire being able to farm under turret? Pretty well, actually. Credits are very even between both him and I'm going pro. So
I think Azure Fire, you know, being infamous for his 1v1 skills.
Yeah.
I think he really knows how to farm under his turret well, regardless of the champion he's on, and regardless of who he's going against.
Absolutely.
But he does not see, I'm going pro, does not see Mecha Malphite there waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he does. He has the vision.
He's got a camera right next to him. So he can be a little careful against that, and yeah, actually, Mecha Alfred's going to back away here. You know, bottom lane, it will probably be a little bit of a slower lane until the junglers pop in. By the way, both junglers do so much burst damage. I think out of, there are 2 of the 3 highest burst damage champions in the game. They can melt targets really quickly. We already saw that happen, actually. At the bottom, Maestro and Picasso are able to pick out Kythus, and sorry we missed that, but that's first blood at Church of Mal. This game's already looking better for Church of Mal than last one because they were already down like 6 kills before they got to that first blood. Oh, Kythus moves in very aggressively, takes a good amount of damage.
Yeah, Maestro and Picasso are really putting the hurt on Kythus on Nightmare Superman there. I mean, being such a low level, he doesn't have the full kit right now. So his utility's not as strong as you'd see typically around level 6 for most Nightmare Supermans.
Yeah.
Gonna be tough going against Green Lantern and having that, Green Arrow with the sustain of Poison Ivy Prime.
It is gonna be a little tricky. It's one of those things where I think Green Arrow can dish out a little better burst than Atomic Joker. Atomic Joker, once he gets his ultimate, is really scary. But until then, Green Arrow should have a little bit better harass because he can combine basics with different arrow tips to just to get that little extra bonus damage on every basic hit. More trades back and forth. Giesto lurking in these shadows here with Gaslight Batman. Now he's going in, no stealth quite yet, just throwing the claws and then backing out. Meanwhile, they don't know Mecha Alfred's lurking here as well, so if C goes too hard for this destroyer right here, Batman could punish them.
I don't think C is gonna go too hard right now. Where you just saw Nightmare Superman already had a bag. I mean, he's taken a lot of damage in both of those mini engages there between Team C and Church of Mel, and it's not working out in his favor.
No, it's definitely looking more towards Church of Mel. They're gonna go grab that destroyer. Things are looking good for Team C, though, in the mid lane, as we do see about a little over 100 credit advantage for I'm Going Pro. You know, as soon as he picked that marksman, I was a little worried for Azure Fire, but Azure Fire he's done okay. He's done okay. It's slightly out-farmed, but it's not too bad. And I'm Going Pro's got to be careful because he's low on will, actually. He doesn't have enough for a bat flight, and here comes Mecha Alfred. Psychic Assault being utilized, and I'm Going Pro goes down.
Mecha Malford picking up the second kill for Team Church of Mel.
And that's a problem that's easy to have when you're basically bullying your lane and you overextend like that. You can be punished hard, and he was too low on will. He's bad fly. Bonds and Love was stuck on him in any case. And Batman's damage is no joke.
As you see him jumping on GS right there, doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
GS is definitely gonna have to go back after that one, and that leaves Gaslight Joker in the top lane to fend off possibly against Mecha Malford.
Yeah, at the very least, Mecha Alfred's going to grab some of the jungle that C would have liked, and things are looking very different from game number 1. This time it's Church of Mao that is getting the definitive small advantages here in the opening moments.
I definitely think Team C was not expecting those specific bans coming out.
Yeah, I think the bans threw him off, and now look at this, Sotura, so much damage output. I'm really impressed with Maestro's Green Arrow, considering that he doesn't play marksman. He normally plays top lane, right? Maybe he'll start taking Green Arrow to the top lane because he's able to really chain those arrows quite effectively against Sotura and Kythus.
And I really think having Poison Ivy Prime sustaining you there is definitely helping him out quite a bit.
whenever they go for trades, she just pops that Thorn Shield on him,
And having the blind going out on Atomic Joker, it really stops the damage going out by Kythus and them.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of interesting about the way Poison Ivy trades lanes is it's kind of one of those things where whoever initiates the trade will win out. If you go in against Poison Ivy and use your abilities before she uses hers, then your damage is already done. And yeah, she can blind you, but you're just walking away anyway and you take a little damage. But if she initiates with a blind, you can't return fire, and you just have to eat the damage. Like we saw there, except unfortunately Master wasn't able to connect that ultimate. But it's a very kind of on a razor's edge lane here, with both sides being able to just really either get ahead or behind in trades quite easily.
So we're still seeing I'm Going Pro bullying Azure Fire, trying to keep Star Sapphire under his own tower, denying any farm possible. But with that assist going to Star Sapphire, he now is more than I'm Going Pro. Well,
Yeah.
credit-wise, about 100 credits currently.
100 credits ahead. The assist was probably worth 300 credits, so it means I'm Going Pro has farmed 200 credits more, but he's, there's those credits worth in that kill that kind of resets a lot of that. And you can see he's being really careful. He knows Batman's somewhere in the bottom half of the map, and he knows that, okay, I can take Star Sapphire, but I gotta be careful for the Batman, because he's already punished me once.
Yeah, I really think we're going to see Mecha Malfred is going to play the key role by being Batman Prime right now. GS coming to the top lane to help bully Swagatron.
Yeah, Swagatron had spotted with a camera, though. Not much done there. Meanwhile, I'm Going Pro saw Mecha Alfred coming there. Was actually able to put out a lot of damage against Mecha Alfred. And look at this, Picasso, I think they're all thinking, they're getting up on I'm Going Pro. They're like, you know what? We don't like this Gasbat mid. Let's try to keep pounding him. But he's died once, but he's still holding strong right now.
Yeah, if Church of Mal really focuses on shutting down I'm Going Pro, that's going to allow Azure Fire to have an easier time going against the marksman in mid lane. And that's what I think is going to be the key to this matchup for Church of Mal.
Yes. They're going to have to deal with it. And what I've been impressed by is Swagatron's done a very good job in the top lane. He's fallen behind, 200 credits. But going against Gaslight Joker, that's not that bad. And he's survived with taking very minimal turret damage. And now he's got his ultimate, which means if any action happens, he can quickly jump down, use that ultimate. And that's the strength of Arcane Green Lantern. Yeah, he's pretty good at laning. He's not as good at laning as Gaslight Joker, but he does have the ability to help out quite a bit in jumping into other lanes with that global ultimate.
But the Stolen Powers is what's really going to be key for the top lane, though.
Yes. Here we can see...
Yeah, he did get Teleport. It's currently on cooldown, but having Teleport available to go to any lane, even if it's out of reach of Deny the Black, is what's going to be very important for Swagatron.
And the Blue Freeze will have to try to make sure he can mirror him as he's keeping his Teleport up as well. Well, more back and forth trades here. It's Church of Mao with a 1,000 credit advantage again, guys. Sorry, Church of Mao is the team in red, and C is the team in blue. More farming back and forth here. More pokes. Oh, sorry again. I missed that there. A sound of justice, a momentary lapse. And I'm Going Pro and GS take down Azure Fire. That's equalizing the kills in the mid lane. That's going to put I'm Going Pro
Back on top there by at
back
least 300 credits.
And that's where all that lane bullying and farming pays off. If you can keep the kill count equalized, you're going to be ahead in credits. And now it's a very, very even game credit-wise. I guess, one interesting thing is C is so focused on attack damage, right? 2 marksmen and assassin. Could it be too easy for them to be counterbuilt against? But then there's only really one enforcer on Church of Mao, only Arcane Green Lantern. So yeah, he can build Pseudosauros, but they can probably try to ignore him a bit and work around him.
I don't really think it's about them being easily countered. It's more or less just how these kills get distributed amongst Church of Mal. I mean, they have Batman Prime, and like I said, that's going to be the key point for Church of Mal. I mean, as you see here, Mecha Malfred jumping in on Zatanna there, but the Void doesn't trigger in time. But invulnerability, they still get the kill on Zatanna going to Maestro.
Oh, Maestro gets away too. Great job by Picasso, blinding GS to prevent him from equalizing kills. That's another death there. this bottom lane has really been looking good for Church and Mao. They've been making a lot of things work quite well for them.
What I also think works in their favor is that Team C doesn't have the disengage. They have Nightmare Superman and Atomic Joker. I mean,
really
what
don't.
disengage do they have as a champion, as a bot lane composition?
Yeah, both Vortex and Peels can be useful, but they also can be worked around. I know, look at that, sorry, Kythus goes down. Wow, really great plays here in the bottom lane from Church and Mao. I assumed they backed up in a turn and were safe, but I guess you're never safe.
There was no vision in that tri-stealth pad there in the bottom lane on Team C side.
Yeah, very brutal execution there.
I know you're.
And now they're gonna go in and grab the surveillance tower unless the Turk can make a really risky play to last hit that. No, that'd be suicide to do that. He's already paid that price enough times. I guess the question is, C's been having a really hard time this bottom lane. What do they do to combat that? Do they send GS down there a bit more to try to farm some kills there? Or do they just say, okay, we may lose the bottom, we'll be defensive there and just be even more aggressive against a Jurfire here in a bit?
Because Mecha Malford's actually gone bot a lot, I really think they need to send GS down there as well. Mainly because Gaslight Joker can really hold his own against our Arcane Green Lantern. I also think he can hold his own against if it's a 2-on-1 there.
Yeah, he probably can. Gaslight Joker does not go down easy.
It's going to really come down to protecting that bot lane and not giving it up too soon.
And you know, Blue Freeze again is going with that same artifact build that's really powerful in the big game. So he's going to be a devastating kind of lane bully.
So this is going to be a destroyer going. I don't know, with GS sitting there, they do not have any vision on him. Right now it's a bat scream going out.
C actually gets a lasted on a destroyer. Picasso's ultimate barely is enough to disengage. No, it's not. Mech Alpha goes down. Here's I'm Going Pro. Following it up with basic attacks. That's 2 down for Church and Mount. Now Azurefire comes in, but he's actually in a bad spot. GS I'm Going Pro right on top of him. Gasbat's basics. I'm Going Pro is going to kill everyone.
Wow, a triple kill going out to I'm Going Pro.
Wow.
Very impressive by Team C there. They're able to take away the destroyer for them and able to pick up a triple kill, and I think they only lost...
Oh, but I'm Going Pro, he got a triple kill, but there's a teleport. Now he's in trouble. The blind goes off. Teleport from his team, but there's a Shackles, the Root Strike. He turns around to try to put some damage on Picasso. And actually, that damage could be enough for GS.
GS comes around and picks another one.
Wow. What a bloody series of engages there.
Yeah, after that exchange, all tied up. Oh, Mecha Malford picking up the kill on GS down there, right above the one of the Raider spawns.
Batman always trying to hunt down the Catwoman, Gaslight Universe or not. But overall, that series, kills did favor C. I think it was a 4-for-2 trade there, which brought them dead even in credits. And from a game that, you know, Church and Mao was about 1,000 credits ahead, and now it's even. And I think that's something that C is going to be happy about, especially considering some of those credits are focused on I'm Going Pro. He's going to be very scary to deal with. He's about to hit his big power spike. If you look at his artifact build, he has +1 attack damage on Coda Blade, Zeiss Goggles, and Shades Cane. He's already got it on the Coda Blade and the Shades Cane, and the Zeiss Goggles are coming up next. So once he gets one more Zeiss Goggles tier, he's gonna really be, I mean, he's already doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, we just saw him pick up a triple kill.
Yeah.
With very little difficulty there.
He's gonna be quite brutal, I think, in a sense. I'm a little surprised that, I guess, okay, it's Amplifier set that's being used here from Swagatron. It's more of a damaging, controlling Amplifier set. And I think that's really good for C, that Swagatron is kind of stuck with those Amplifier mods, because against a double marksman assassin comp, I think if he went a little more kind of tanky, he could have been a really strong presence in team fights. Whereas his damage output's going to be a lot scarier, but he might melt pretty fast in some of these marksmen.
But not only that, Arcane Green Lantern's not going to be a priority target for Team C. You have Batman Prime, you have Green Arrow, Star Sapphire.
Wow, he just runs right into a Jurfire.
Oh, and he still gets the auto attack regardless of Deny the Black going out.
Just right through that ultimate. Now he's just gonna fight Swagatron, and Swagatron is also gonna have to run away as well. But oh, here comes Mech Alfred to scream! Oh, juked. Great juke there by Swagatron. I'm going pro in a lot of trouble. GS should be able to get out of there, and actually, I'm going pro gets out as well. Super speed being utilized. Wow.
Really good
there.
complete team disengage there for Team C.
Yeah. Man, imagine, I was amazed that he was both able to escape there, I'm going pro, and he was able to pull off an ultimate that, while didn't do anything, that got the kill. That would have been a sick move. And against a lesser Arcane Green Lantern, it would have, but Swagatron was, he's on the lookout for that one.
So after that kill, this secures Team C to get the Raider, and now they're up almost 2,000 credits.
Yeah, that's huge. Team C, yeah, they fell behind early, but they're picking up big here in this big game. What's the next strike going to be? I mean, I think Church Mao has got to be feeling a little bit of confidence issues. They still have Batman on their side, though, and actually they're going to grab this bottom turret. A lot of damage output going in. Mao put his ultimate cripple Atomic Joker, which in fact got the tower aggro on him. Don't think he intended that, as he took a couple unnecessary hits there. But they do get the turret. That's some extra credits in their camp, making things a little closer.
Yeah, that is the first tower down for the game. But I really think what matters is going to be this mid lane, where you have, I'm going pro, 5-2 and run right now. Got Max Ice Goggles, he definitely has hit that power spike, and his damage is only going to get even stronger from here.
Yeah, he's 2,000 credits ahead of Azure Fire, which is tricky. I mean, if you just look at Shames and your damage output, Gaslight Batman is crazy. You've got the enhanced DM going off, so it's even harder to build against him, a little bit of power damage as well. This is gonna be a little tricky here. Some harass there from GS onto Swagatron. And here's Mech Alfred. They need to shut down. I'm going pro. But look at that camera placement. He knows Mech Alfred's looking for him. He sees him coming. Can he get away? Batfly gets out of range of Bonzilla before it can be activated.
I think I'm going pro played that perfectly. He was very patient. He waited for Batman to dive in and throw down that first stack of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, very, very, very
Can you
smart.
put your past with the league behind you, Selena?
I feel like he's played this game a ton too. Oh, Batman chasing him away. Meanwhile, an attempted collapse around the mid lane, but again, a nifty escape there.
It looks like Mecha Malfred's going to be moving up top lane against Gaslight Joker right now. You got Poison Ivy also following, trying to take out Blue Freeze here.
Yeah, they've been spotted though, and it's Gaslight Joker. There's a speed drop. Can they get him? There's a blind. He tried to juke the Root Strike, but it never came. No, they saw. I mean, he's Gaslight Joker.
He has so much health and armor right now with that full stacks of Phantom Stranger's Necklace, and you got Ruby of Life, but that is not triggered with the Health Collector mod.
Oh, and now because they were all top, here comes Team C bottom, gets a kill, utilizing the EMP they got from the Raider. They're gonna go ahead and grab a turret as well. They actually, will they lose their mid turret? They could actually just turn, are they gonna head up here? Oh, here's a Bat Scream coming up. If it clears the wave, it gets with a range minion. Here comes Gaslight Joker, saving the turret, right onto Azure Fire. Both Azure Fire and Picasso could be in trouble. But, no, even with super speed, I'm going pro, not getting your time. And it looks like, actually, the mid lane may swing back towards C as they're pushing in really aggressively here. The blind goes and I'm going pro, forcing him back. A great Root Strike as well. I'm going pro, taking a lot of damage. But the Shade Box on Swagatron and double marksman hurt.
Oh, Blue Freeze is taken down from the turret there.
That Poison Ivy ultimate, I don't think he anticipated how much that would slow him down.
Yeah, he took, I think, 3 turret shots just from being in Poison Ivy's ultimate there.
Yeah, her ultimate is really good at defending turrets. Meanwhile, the top turret went down to Mech Alfred. The mid turret, though, goes down to Team C. Both teams. Turrets, 6 turrets left on the enemy side.
You probably don't even know what radiation is. I have so much to show you.
Well, I don't know if I want to be showing things from Atomic Joker. He's kind of a scary dude.
I mean, sitting on top of Gaggy like that, yeah, it's pretty frightening.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm going back to base here.
Teleport going out by Blue Freeze, jumping back in the mid lane, just getting rid of that wave drone so quickly.
Looks like after that flurry of activity, C is still maintaining about a 4,000 credit lead, and things are slowing down for the moment. No one's making any really big moves quite yet. When you think about this, I've seen this is the second time I've seen Kythis going for Mr. Terrific's team mask. He won it last game as well with Poison Ivy. Really trying to utilize it to help deny vision for his CDs and ECM burst. And it's hard to tell how effective that is, but it is cool to see this being utilized to some extent. And interesting to see how that'll continue to be effective as the game goes on.
Yeah, I think it was very useful in the early phases, really trying to get rid of. I mean, we saw him use it when Church of Mal had a couple of cameras right below the Raider spawn, or I'm sorry, the Leviathan spawn. And it was definitely useful getting rid of that vision there. I mean, they were able to come down and perform a couple of ganks in the bottom lane. And now they have both turrets are down in each lane.
We have GS sharking around here, trying to kind of put a little bit of pressure on Church of Mal so they fight backwards. And now top turret does go down for Team C. But look at this, the whole time Maestro is pushing by himself, getting not only solo farm, but a turret. Can Team C push even more aggressive, grab the tier 2 turret? They did send the turret back to defend. But yeah, I'm going pro basics. This is why Sunager Fire takes off so much life. Oh, Mecha Alfred. Did he overextend though? Batman doesn't have a good escape.
But I'm going pro and Kythis are both still really low. I don't know how much they can stick around though.
GS will just come in and kill everything.
Oh,
the ham toss gets the kill. The ham toss gets the kill. Ends up being a 4 for 1 actually. Wow.
And then they end up sending Satura down to try and push Maestro off from taking out their dampener in the bottom lane.
Maestro did get the tier 2 turret as well though, so he was able to get himself some good credits. You can see now, that's really important. Get that marksman fed of it. Now C's gonna back away here. They've extended their advantage from just a couple thousand credits. Now they're up by 7,000 credits. And they've got a lot of map control. Taking down both those top turrets and the one in the middle, it gives them really good control over this top Raider.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see Team C really engage for that Raider right now, or at least even start setting up cameras around that and get some vision on that area.
Yeah, it's coming up fairly soon, 40 seconds before it resurfaces. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see C go for that Raider. And I don't know if Church of Mal, should they try to contest it or should they try to split push?
I mean, they already got a lot of damage down in that bottom lane, and both of those turrets are down. I think they should continue with this split push.
Yeah, I actually did like that. I think that was a good strategy. Because you're trying to fight straight up right now is not maybe going to be the most effective technique. Oh, look at this, actually. I'm going pro. 101 versus Mecha Alfred, bumping to super speed, though. Can he get away? Another martial arts being used. There's the Batfly, and he barely gets away from Mecha Alfred. Batman's damage is scary.
Yeah, and while they are trying to split the bottom and keep a couple of champions in the mid lane, it goes, a Raider ends up going to Team C, and that just extends their lead even further. Almost 9,000 credits so far.
Now, there goes the speed deployable. That's going to go to Gaslight Catwoman. GS grabbing that. Can he run anyone down? No, just going to go and grab a jungle camp instead.
So it looks like Mecha Malfred on the bottom as Batman's coming back up to try to join his team in this team fight here.
But he's going to get there same time I'm going pro will be in.
It's still going to end up being a 5 versus 4 right now with Arcane Green Lantern back in base for Church of Mal.
Actually, look at this. C going straight for the Levy. A very bold move, but they've got all this vision so they can see Church of Mal coming for them. The Levy is already very low. It's at 1/3 life. Meanwhile, Nightmare Batman, as Kythis try to run interference, he's zoned out a bit, but the Levy's down. Leviathan Core goes down, slowing Church of Mal a bit. They're going to try to disengage.
Oh, but the ham toss separates the entire team of Church of Mal.
Oh yeah, Maestro's being slowed here. GS closing him. Arcane Green Lantern trying to keep alive with the ultimate, but too much damage out from GS. He goes down. Mecha Alfred trying to find an angle to get in there. The Bat Stream does splits the team apart as they try to avoid it, and now Picasso is going to go down.
Right now, that's a 2 for 0 in favor of Team C.
Yeah, a very solid advantage. They still have the Leviathan shield and
We should
the
work
EMP.
together more often.
GS is hurt, so he goes to split push. I love that idea. He wouldn't help in sieging that much. And the rest of the team is going to just slowly siege his turret. They could have dropped the EMP and taken it, but I kind of like them saving the EMP for the dampener because I think this late in the game, it's a better use for those that don't need it last turn.
And taking out a dampener in the mid lane really just secures the momentum of the game for your team. Like, if you can use that EMP and take out a dampener, it's something that your team can just ride into victory.
And I definitely think they can. I mean, they had 12,000 credits now. They haven't been able to spend a lot of those credits because a lot of them were from the Leviathan and the subsequent kills. But now they went back to base. They can go rebuy up. You can see I'm going pro finish on just his crossbow now. And they still have the EMP. They still have the Leviathan shield. And there's 2 dampeners that are exposed. And I'm pretty sure they're going to either push mid or top. Well, there's pings at the bottom. I feel like they should just go for dampener, though. I don't think they need to peel more turrets off. I think they have enough advantage. They can try to, snowball a little bit more.
Yeah, I really don't think they need to try and evenly take all 3 lanes. I mean, they can go for the top or mid right now and get one of those dampeners down.
Well, they're kind of just conglomerating a bit. Looks like I'm going pro might be split pushing bottom while the rest of the team hangs around in the middle area. Oh, Azure Fire caught an awkward spot. So Tur is afraid of being collapsed upon, so he didn't really want to back up Blue Freeze. So I think it was the right call. If he backed up Blue Freeze, they maybe would have gotten Azure Fire, but probably not, and so Tur would have been destroyed by Picasso and Maestro coming in behind there. So
yeah, it's really important for no member of Team C to be caught out at this time. I mean, Atomic Joker cannot afford to go down in a team fight like such as just a Blue Freeze and himself against Star Sapphire and Green Arrow.
Well, here's the siege on this bottom turret. I'm going pro, starting to connect with that turret. It's going down very fast here, and yeah, he does go down. More pursuit as Gaslight Joker is kind of joined a fray from a separate angle. There's no teleport on Gaslight Joker. Use it to defend that top tier 2 turret, which means this could be a 4v5 if Mecha Alfred collapses down on C.
But I think GS is going to try and split push and try and take out this middle dampener if he can. And it looks like Mecha Malfred's going to be there to try and take this drone wave out before GS can get any damage on the mid lane dampener.
I don't think GS really could have gotten in there. It would have been a bold move with Batman right there. It's Batman's first. Not to be ignored. I think C's just saying, okay, there's only 4 of us here in 4 versus 5, but I think we can win a 4v5 in the open. So you guys either have to come out and fight us in the open, or we'll just sit here, and eventually Blue Freeze will have this top turret pushed in. In fact, Blue Freeze is one of the guys in the EMP, so we can really definitely throw in that top turret. Top dampener, excuse me. Oh, Picasso gets put in a shame box, gets obliterated, and there's a Leviathan shield to keep GS alive as C retreats. Mecha Alfred taking a lot of damage from Zatanna. Zatura's ultimate dishing out a lot, and also 2 more kills go down. Now Maestro's exposed. The Extermite Arrow does take down GS. The Pat Scream followed by Kythus's Siphon and Fuse takes down Maestro.
And that ended up being a 4-for-1, and now this is going to be a top dampener and a bottom dampener, all taken out by Team C.
I mean, I think, well, they're all so low. I actually think they can end the game. If they were healthy, they could end the game, but if they don't retreat, look at this Mecha Alfred. Ooh, if they don't retreat, he could actually kill all of them. Batman, his martial arts resets on a kill or assist. So there's a lot of low targets around him. He just bounces between them all and gets 3 kills in 3 seconds.
Yeah, you see the same type of kill resets on a Sinestro.
Yes. Both of those champions are ones you don't have a whole lot of hurt people against. I'm surprised Blue Freeze finished this off before retreating. I think he could have done so. But now they're going to have to back away. Actually, the drones! The drones! Every little bit. No, Poison Ivy doing a great job trying to keep it off the turret. Another few hits and gets low, but it is not quite done.
Yeah, that top dampener is very low right now.
I kind of expect GS being, once he comes back, being fast. As Gaslight Catwoman, just kind of, like, sneak in there and just one-shot her or something. Or Blue Freeze can sneak in there because he's so meaty, he can just kind of ignore any damage.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily think a Gaslight Joker sneaks in anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. He just kind of walks in and he says, what are you going to do about it? So Tur getting some extra farm in the jungle here. So taking a look at things, I mean, there's a 17,000 credit differential. The poorest member of Team C is still ahead of the richest member of Church of Mao, which is not good. For Church of Mao, of course. There's a speed deploy while helping Kythus get to the fight. There's the ultimate on Azure Fire. That's a kill.
Yeah, Blue Free's picking up another kill, going 4-1 and 5 right now.
Azure Fire's been caught out a couple of times. I think he's gone, you know, maybe a little sloppy in this late game as...
Yeah, Azure Fire did not have a good early game
That's true.
against I'm Going Pro on a Gaslight Batman. You can see him right now, 0-7 and 3. Looks like Swagatron's going down now. I'm Going Pro picking up another kill.
Yeah, I do think it was a mistake for their only tanky character not to get Sorrows against a double marksman team. I mean, yeah, he does more damage, but they didn't need damage from him. They needed him to be to survive. And that's looking like it's probably not going to happen. All three dampers down. He's trying to focus on GS, but actually, no, it's Picasso that gets absolutely destroyed. And now with the two marksmen taking on these turrets shouldn't be a problem. They are getting melting quite quickly. And now just the power core turret is that Maestro trying to do a bit, but GS. Wow, GS could go down though. Batman does return damage, but no.
Oh, that's a full team annihilation. That is going to be it. Team C is going to take Kings of the Crisis again this week.
Very decisively too. I mean, game 1 with just Team C from start to finish. Game 2, we did see Church of Mao actually get a 3-0 lead early. A lot of kills early. Mecha Alfred was going places and killing people with his Batman. But the problem was that yes, they were getting kills with ganks and they were making kills happen, but they were still losing. They were losing the mid lane consistently. The top lane wasn't going great.
Yeah.
And kind of, I think just basically, it was back and forth, and then when I'm Going Pro,
got that triple kill is when
Yeah.
it really turned around for Team C. I mean, we saw I'm Going Pro struggle at first, and he was the first death. Mecha Malfred came in on Batman Prime, picked up that kill. That's what we thought was going to really show for Church of Mal. But Azure Fire really had a hard time going against that double marksman combo and having Gaslight Batman in that mid lane.
I mean, I'm Going Pro is scary to go up against. So
And I'm really surprised to see Azure Fire going 0-7 and 3.
yeah.
Not being able to pick up a kill.
Well, there you have it. Even the master
Yes.
duelist can sometimes lose. I think Playdwin actually beat him in the latest tournament. So maybe times are changing. Maybe the king of 1v1 is being dethroned. But there you guys have it. C wins 2-0, winning $200, and of course they'll play again next week. Next week, the 29th of October, the last week before the changes to Kings of the Crisis, where we bring in European teams, we increase the prize pool to $500, and much more awesomeness will occur.